So we need to make just a tiny delicate adjustment. All right, well, I was recently looking through listings online trying to find another outboard motor to fix up, and instead I came across this, and the price was free. So I thought I would try it. It's a little mini wood chipper. I guess it's called a shredder, 5 horsepower. The guy was close to me. He was about an 8-minute drive away, so I thought I can't really go that far wrong. I'll just go pick it up. So I'm not sure what we have here. Maybe we can pull this spark plug, see if there's any compression. I did pull the pull start a couple times, and some rusty water came shooting out, so that might be good or bad. And I think the carburetor may need some slight adjustments. I think this is where the carburetor bowl is supposed to be, so this is pretty interesting. It's a Tecumseh engine. Seems like that might be decent, but yeah, I don't know. Hey, the price was right. Let's see what we have. Is there oil in it? Well, there is oil in it. Okay, that's good. I spent quite a while looking for the right size plug wrench and then realized it's just finger tight. Hey, that doesn't even look that bad. All right, let's see what we got. $75. I'm not sure. I think that's probably okay. Okay, now the question, do we have spark? And it's bright and sunny out here, so I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but hoping I can. Nothing. All right, I think what's happening is my spark plug tester, this spark plug's got such a short little end on it that my tester can't even reach it. So when I plug it back in here, and if I ground it like that, I don't think you'll be able to see it. Oops, especially not if my hand's in the way. If I touch it to that and try to ground the one end, give this a pull. Yeah, I can see a little spark in there. Yeah, there's a spark. Okay, I guess I'll take it. So probably safe to assume that whoever tried to get this thing running, this is where things went awry. I did get, the guy gave me also this box of pieces. Looks like we have an air filter, cover for that, carburetor bowl, I guess, made in USA. That's probably an important part. Let's take off this carburetor and see where we're at. Well, I realize there's not much point in getting the engine working if all the other parts of this aren't any good, so I think I'm going to take this cover off, see just how bad that rust really is. All right, well, last night I was able to get this cover totally off, and I noticed that some of these flails move like they're supposed to. Some are frozen, like this. So we need to make just a tiny, delicate adjustment. See if we can free that up. As you can see, they're ever so slightly rusty. I'll keep working at it. All right, and this may not be as good as liquid wrench, but it's what I've got handy. Okay, so back inside at the workbench, shifting our focus back to the engine, I took another look at this carburetor, and boy, it is rough. I started looking around for a carburetor kit. I thought maybe we could get this thing going if we were able to replace enough parts, but then I found something even better, which is this. A brand new carburetor for only about 13 bucks, which is really amazing. And if not an exact fit, I really think this should be close enough to work. So I'm pretty optimistic this will get us going. Let's get this hooked up and we'll see if we can get that engine started. Okay, so here we are with a new carburetor installed. Actually went on pretty easy. Got the fuel hooked up. The throttle's a little wonky, but that's the least of my worries right now. And we're going to see if we can turn on the fuel and fire this up. Now, is it stupid and dangerous to do it without the guard on here? I would say yes to both, but we'll be careful and we're not going to run it long. We just want to see if it'll start. So let's try it and see what happens. Oh my gosh, one pull. I don't believe it. That was not expected. Literally first pull. I can't believe it. Wow, awesome. Okay, I think we got something to work with here. That's so cool. I think it's time to go back to this. I've been attacking it with a hammer, and I've loosened all these little flails here. This one's still kind of stuck, but for the most part, they're loose. But I think the next step is to try to clean this up a bit more. I'm gonna hit it with a wire brush and see if that does the trick. Okay, one really important safety thing I didn't mention yet. Conceivably, you could actually start this motor by just rotating this big wheel here. And that could be very bad if you're not doing it intentionally. So always important to disconnect this spark plug anytime you're messing with it. That way there's no way that we can accidentally start the motor. All right, well, after just a few minutes of brushing by hand, it's already looking quite a bit better. These flails are moving around like they're supposed to pretty freely. We are going to need to get this blade off. And then there's two blades on the other side. One's right here, you can see with these two bolts. This one doesn't look too bad. This other one, I think half of this was kind of sitting underwater. This doesn't look too good, but I'm hopeful we can get those off. Then we could sharpen all three of those blades, this big one and the two on the other side, and then we'd be in pretty good shape, I hope. So let's see what we can do there. Well, that was an ordeal. I finally got this off, but I had to heat it with a torch, and even then it was really difficult. So we did get this blade off. I think we can try to sharpen it, get it back to life. And I'm hoping the other one, which is right here, comes off a little bit more easily. This one is much less rusty, but boy, that was rough. Let's see if I can do better on these. All right. All right, I'm back in the garage this morning. I'm gonna try to sharpen these blades. I'm starting with this one. I think this one's probably the worst. I'm just gonna use a regular file. I do like to wear gloves when I do this because I find it really helps protect my hands. And yeah, let's see if we can get these sharp. And boy, this blade is definitely rough. I think this one is probably used a lot more this side of the chipper because this blade is really bad. But that's fine, it's giving me some exercise this morning. So here's the big blade. It's not perfect, but it's a lot better. If we hang it on here to check the balance, I'm gonna say that's good enough. So I'm gonna give these blades a final touch-up, then we'll try to get them reinstalled. Okay, to give you one final look, here's what we ended up with. I even gave these things a last touch-up with my Spyderco Sharp Maker. And yeah, I mean, they're not perfect, but definitely better. I actually think the steel in this was a little bit softer. This seemed to be easier to sharpen. These two seem to have really hard steel, and they're still a little pitted, you can see, but I think the edges are definitely fine for what we need. I mean, we're not trying to shave with these things. They just need to be decently sharp. So I think we're in good shape. Now let's get them installed. All right, I just got back from the hardware store where, as you can see, didn't exactly break the bank, which is great because we do need some new fasteners. Like this one, for example, I'd say that's a little bit stripped out. Actually, a lot bit stripped out. I'm just glad I was able to get this thing out at all. But here is one of the new ones, so that'll be great. Perfect replacement. Got a few more parts to clean, but as soon as I'm done with that, we can start putting this thing back together. So I've got my wire brush out again, ready to go. And here's an example of a part I'm going to try to clean today. This is the before. All right, and here's the after. All I did was hit it with a wire brush and then a little WD-40. So I think it'll be fine. All right, time to reattach our blades. And I've put some grease on here in the hopes that whoever has to do this next time won't have as much trouble as I did taking them off. And all I can say is it went back together a lot easier than it came apart. So let's put this thing together the rest of the way and see if it runs. All right, that's great. Might as well change the oil while things are warm. Nope. Yep. Probably safe to say it needed an oil change. All right, I'm still waiting on some parts to arrive to finish this job, but in the meantime, I've got it pulled in the garage, and I thought I could go ahead and start cleaning it up and getting it looking a little better and a little bit less like something that was free on Facebook Marketplace. So let's get started. Okay, today feels a little bit like small engine Christmas because we got a bunch of new parts in, and I'm really excited. This should be everything we need to finish this project. Here's a new spark plug, a new gasket that's going to go in between our air filter and carburetor. Here is the new air filter itself. It's a Tecumseh part, so that's great. Then there's also a pre-filter that goes in here and covers those big holes. And I could have ordered the official Tecumseh one, but it would have cost quite a bit more money. Instead, I took this Honda filter, which started out as a rectangle, and just cut a little circular piece out of it. And I think that'll work perfectly. That fits right in here like this. And it just kind of covers those really big holes so that nothing big can get in there. And then to show you how the rest of this goes together, this air filter goes in, sits just like that. And this whole part will connect here. And there we go, I got this all cleaned up. And this will attach to the carburetor with that gasket in between, and that's how that'll work. So I think we're in great shape here. I'll get this together, and yeah, we'll see where we're at. Okay, time for a test. New spark plug, new air filter assembly. We're gonna start with some simple dried leaves, move on to some sticks. We just pruned our apple trees today, so I've got plenty of these. And then maybe try something a little bit bigger. I've got my ear guards on, safety glasses, I'll put some gloves on, and let's see if it works. Cool. All right, I consider this a success. It ran great. It handled leaves and small sticks no problem. Some of the bigger branches were a little tougher, but I think that's to be expected. What I didn't expect is just how much fun it was turning sticks into sawdust. So even after I turned the camera off, I found myself looking around for more and more sticks to throw into this thing. And yeah, I'm really happy with how it turned out. Now, am I going to sell it? Am I going to keep it? I don't know, I haven't decided yet. But honestly, I've got less than 50 bucks into this thing, so I really feel like I can't go too far wrong either way. And I do want to emphasize that I'm very much a novice small engine mechanic. Most of what I learned just from watching YouTube, and that's what makes this so fun for me, because if I can do it, you can do it. And it was a really fun video to put together. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching, take care, and I'll see you next time. Hey, I'm back at my workbench this morning with a quick update. I sold it. As a matter of fact, the morning after I recorded that last video segment, I decided to go ahead and post it on Facebook Marketplace for 250 bucks, and actually had a buyer come by later that day. Now, without disclosing any information about the buyer, I will say the person was really great and it was going to a good cause, so I did give back a little bit of change on this. I ended up with a final price of $225, but I'm still really happy with that. It was a lot of fun to do the video and go through the process, and I hope you enjoyed going through it with me. And I'm excited about the next project, whatever that turns out to be. Hey, thanks again. I'll see you next time.